Kia ora, Aries. This is your reading for this new moon in Leo, sandwiched between the two full moons in Aquarius, which is kind of interesting. So in 1 month, of course. So let's just see. We're looking at overarching energies for you. We're looking at your choices at the moment, which I guess you could look at as being issues or things that are going on in your life. We've got a very kind of mix of personalities coming out on the table. Overarching energies, the Queen of Swords. Look at this glorious Queen. Maybe a need for or being challenged, not necessarily challenged as such, but the need for clarity and thinking in a very precise manner, knowing exactly where you stand, because the Queen is not blinded, or there's nothing in her or his way that prevents really acute sight. And there is a sword here, just like, for example, in the traditional justice card, or judgment card or something. One sword only. Maybe some decisions, maybe there's a challenge because there's a challenge in making a decision. In the choice zone, we get this gorgeous, I love the Prince of Swords, but the Prince of Swords is getting pulled along, and you see by these, what they are described as fairies in the Book of Thoth. It's a card of plans not realised. Maybe there's something going on at the moment where, you had everything sort of planned out and it's just not happening. It seems like it's going around and around in circles. The prince as a character gets carried along in many different directions. And sometimes there's a purpose to that, because it can't last like forever, and it may well be a personality in your life. You might feel like that is what is going on for you at the moment, So how do you choose at that point? Well, you kind of have to think, all right, well, I'm just going to go with this plan. And if that doesn't work, because these times are very challenging in terms of the fact that it is very difficult wherever you happen to be, it's quite difficult to make specific plans because there's so many disruptions and we all know, stuff going on. So Aries, it's challenging. But the great thing about this is moving forward, and we will go through and clarify. Moving forward at this time for you, we have the Princess. You see what I mean? There's quite a few characters in here, possibly aspects of yourself. We have the Princess of Wands, this glorious, she's really non-gender, really bursting through personal barriers, taking risks. There's a purification through fire going on in this card, where we see the flaming altar. There are roses on this altar. And there's an overcoming of a burden represented by the animal, by the tiger-like creature on this card. And there's also breaking free, a breaking free. And this is in the position of moving forward. So things may well be a little bit, you may feel it's difficult to make decisions or to bring plans into form at the moment. But It won't last. It won't last forever. Let's just see. We get the Magician coming out, as I said that. But let's just look at let's just look at the Queen of Swords here, because it's difficult, because there's like this aura of having to be quite precise, but then at the same time kind of not quite knowing how. Let's just have a look. The Queen of Swords, please, an overarching energy. Yeah, I mean, we get the Knight of Pentacles, which is a manager, like a consummate manager. There's when we look at the the Prince or the Page of Swords, that's a very that's his very slow cousin. The Knight moves reasonably quickly and manages along the way, manages what has slowly been coming to fruition. So whatever that could be, anything in your life. And these readings, remember, are incredibly general. So it's always good to look at your Venus, Moon, Jupiter, your ascendant as well. So we're trying to manage things here. What we have in hand, we're trying to manage. Let's see this Prince of Swords, please. Like, yeah. Plans unrealized is the general definition. I don't know. Definition of this Prince. Wow. Prince of Swords, please. Yeah, this is becoming a burden. It could be, this is becoming a burden, but you're at the end of it. I do get this there's movement coming through. Whatever's going on, this 10 of Wands here with the Prince of Swords, this kind of going around and around in circles, off in different directions. This is a major burden that's just about to be tossed off, because you can't go beyond the 10. That's it. You've realized this. You've realized it. And even if in your material, physical world, that you can't fully bring these things to realization yet, you know you've had a damn good length of time to figure out how you will do it, when you can do it, which is sort of a relief in itself. Let's have a look at the Princess of Wands, this firebrand, really fiery, risk-taking, impulsive, really creative. Really creative. Just one more, please. I do get a sense here for some Aries out there that I mean, and I say this obviously, we get 2 sevens coming out to, it's like you've been pushed, you've been, well, just from external circumstance and the things that have been going on for you, Aries, in this reading, it really feels like you've been sort of pushed to a point where, you've looked, you've thought about stuff, you're trying to make plans, and you've realised that after review, after looking back to, I'm surprised the Queen of Discs hasn't come out here. What was I saying? You've realised that what you need moving forward. You've realised how you want to, what things you want moving forward, basically. We get 2 sevens. We get the 7 of Discs, which is about review. It's about looking at your energy input, output, what you've put time, energy into, and what you've got out of it. Has it been worth it? So this could be about job, it could be about relationship, Aries, it could be about anything. But what's definitely occurring here, moving forward, is that you want to do things in a different way. We also get the 7 of Wands, standing up, standing your ground, without being over the top and unreasonable about it, standing your ground, and doing something that honours your own, whether it's your creative integrity or whatever it is, general integrity of your soul. You're choosing to move forward in a different way, Aries. It's quite fascinating. Let's just get Sage is, wow, it's so small cat. Let's get a Brian Froud Pixie and Fairy for Aries, please. We might just get one for each placement, or however it comes out. Thank you. Oh, yeah, look, there's some truth, you know. It's like we get Sylvanus of the forest, you know, removes his mask of truth to reveal the truth. It's sort of paradoxical, but it is about exposure. It's about coming clean with yourself. It's about being true to yourself. Therefore, when we do that, you know, it impacts. See, his sacral area is all lit up like a jewel, like a diamond. It really enhances all our relationships when we do this. This is about living up to our personal integrity. And when we are fully engaged in activities which honour that, it's massively beneficial for others in our world as well as ourselves. This is a key here, I think, for you, Aries, to just remember that. We'll get a journey map card, and then I'll pull a couple of, well, I like love cards, just for something different. Yeah, this is quite a big deal, because I think it is impacting, it's impacting other people, like whether, you know, in a relation, you know, you might be in a relationship or you might not be, but you've been sort of stretched, you've been tested, and you will actually realise that a new, cleaner, clearer way of expression and fulfilling certain things that are great wishes and dreams for you. We get eruption card. The rumblings have been going on for a while. Suddenly everything blows. Excuse me, Aries, suddenly everything blows. It's like explosive. And then what do we have at the end of it? We have this gorgeous obsidian. We have what we have at the end of it, in fact, is this precision and the clarity of the Queen of Swords. We have this gorgeous obsidian, this amazing crystal glass. And we also have an increased personal power, an increased strength in our lives. Pretty wild, Aries. So, you know, I think you've been pushed to your limits. That's interesting. That just came out. And I will keep shuffling it because I've been pulling one from the top and one from the bottom of the deck. But, you know, we speak of defiance or, standing up for our principles. It doesn't have to be heavy-handed or a reactionary thing, right? This is the card that came out, Defense, a dance on the walls of the garden. It's just basically, it's drawing boundary, It's not been like a wounded warrior here. But anyway, I'll just, great Mars warrior, dancing on the walls of the garden. I love that. Okay. Right. So we've been pushed, we've been stretched to our limits. We get rid of the burden of it. We come to the conclusion of, even if we can't materialize these things, we can still express freely from our integrity. So we have, now this may or may not make sense. We have past life history. That's usually, whether it's physical memory, kind of as in your, what goes on physically, your biology. I love this. Your biology is your biography, which I think Karen Mace talks of, and it's sort of, and it is, past life history. Then we get soften. And maybe allowing yourself to just fully express, to whatever degree you can right now, will allow a level of peace to come through for you, Aries. So that's the reading today. I hope you enjoyed it, and have a wonderful week. And we'll see you next time, Aries. Okay, thank you. Ka kite, bye.